everyone. My name is Hunter Salazar, and I'm here with.
Eldoria Crow.
It's good to be with you here, Eldoria. So today we are going to talk about. We're going to talk about talismans, spells, curses, and defense magic. We're going to kind of leave that as our blank slate, and we're just kind of work off that. We'll get to what we get to. I guess the first thing we should talk about is defense magic. Is there I'll let you lead off. Is there anything that you would like to talk about as far as defense magic, or anything that you use that's a magical or spiritual technique to defend yourself, that is, against attack of any sort, whether it be magical or physical?
Um, yes, but just before we do that, just because this is going to be on my channel too, I just want people to know who's watching on my channel a little bit about who Hunter Salazar is. Could you give my viewers just a little bit about who you are and where they can find you and what you're about? Not too much, just a little bit.
Okay. So I'm Hunter Salazar. You can find me on YouTube at Hunter Salazar, Hunter space Salazar. I also have a podcast, that Spirituality and Magic podcast. And anybody can contact me on Facebook regarding anything magical or spiritual at www.facebook.com/hunter.salazar. So I specialize in defense magic, servitor creation, talisman creation, a variety of different kinds of magics. I work with gods, I work with spirits, I work with nature. I love runic divination, and I'm very much a Norse shamanic practitioner. Not a shaman, but a shamanic practitioner. There is a difference. My main patrons are the Divine Mother Kalima and Odin. I find myself very much interested in pan spirituality. I take whatever I think can help me or work good with the system that I have that I've created, and I use it. Right now, I'm doing a wall rider project with some other people. Look up me. You can find the wall rider project pretty easily on my channel. So my goal for as my path develops is to become a more effective practitioner of every kind, and to help other people by showing my journey, video by video. I have over 1,200 videos, probably more than that, maybe over 1,300 at this point. But I catalog my whole path so that anybody who wants can view it, can either learn from it or disagree with it, whatever. I'm very open to criticism. And I'm very much focused on non-materialism and something that is beyond the material, and not just trying to gain that which is immediate, but gain that which is ultimate. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay. Okay, and for everyone who doesn't know who I am, I'm Eldoria Crow. I'm a Luciferian witch. I've been practicing magic for about 7 to 8 years now. You can find me at the Crow Cove at Eldoria Crow. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok. I do rituals for hire. I'm an artist, and yeah, I do the same as you do. I record all of my experiences working with the spirits that I work with, just to relate and to help anybody that is going through the same thing, and just to kind of compare journeys. That's what I like to do, is to look back from a year from now and see where I am today, even a couple months ago, and how much I've grown. So yeah, so that's it.
Excellent. All right. Should we dive in here?
Yes, we shall.
Okay. So I guess I'll let you start off with defense magic, because I feel like I got a lot to say. So I would love for you to kind of start off with maybe some things that you do to defend magically against
Yeah.
any form of attack, something like that.
Okay, so in the beginning of my practice, I used a lot of protection magic and defense magic. I would smudge my blades. I would make oils. I would use red brick dust. I would do the lesser banishing ritual. I did a lot of protection. But now that I look back at it, the more protection that I use, it's almost like I'm using it to protect something, which kind of brought more shit towards me. And the spirits that I work with today, they're pretty damn protective. Like, I don't really have to do that much protective shit anymore. I really don't. All I have to do is make sure that I'm good inside. I take my cleansing baths. That's a huge thing. I'll take a bath once a week with salt. Um, I'll cleanse my body. I don't do that much protection just because of the entities that I work with are so protective of me. I don't need to do much, but they will warn me if somebody is trying to attack me or if they're coming after me. I will get that. I'll know. I'll come in a dream and I can deal with it that way. Um, Other than that, I think that the more that you work with more spirits, you automatically have a protecting family around you that protects you. I also have familiars and servitors. I have things that are always around me that protects me. But in the beginning of magic, I think we're all, you want to protect yourself because you don't understand spirits, you don't understand certain things, so you want to protect. So that's a lot of us do protection. Um, yeah. So I don't I don't really clean my space out anymore. If I call the spirits in, I just leave them in here. I've never had any problems. The only time you'll have problems is when you're afraid. If you allow fear to manifest in your mind, then you're opening up that gateway for spirits and parasites to feed off that fear, and they will fuck with you. Yeah.
That makes For sure. Yeah, so I do definitely agree with you on the fact that Kalima and Odin protect me from. There's been so many people that have tried to curse me that other people have told me about, or like they have told me directly, and nothing ever happens. Kalima will usually appear before that person, and they'll get afraid, and they won't try to mess with me anymore. Odin is more for me taking my punches, but in the end, he still doesn't want me to be destroyed because of the mission that we share together. So yeah, there is that protective field for sure. So there's a lot of different kinds of protection. So one form of protection that a lot of people don't understand is protection from your own ego or your own forces within yourself that might hamper anything that you're trying to do with your willpower. Sometimes we do need a little bit of guidance and protection from ourselves. And that can only be done by getting close to different entities, gods, spirits, demons, whatever, angels, and really allowing them to show you how you are, what you are, who you are, and how you operate. You want beings that are as blunt as possible so that you can actually benefit, not ones that are super nice, not ones that are super caring per se. Because a lot of the time I do see people hamper the spiritual path because they'll expect too much at the beginning from beings who are a little bit tricky, not outright with you. So now, besides that, I will say that a lot of my blood magic is creating sigils that do have a defense and protective element, but it always aligns with something within myself. So it emboldens certain things within me so that I have that within myself, and it's not just protecting a space, it's not just protecting outside of me, but it's enlivening a part of myself and giving that piece of myself power to protect my grander spirit, my grander, I wouldn't say soul, but spirit for sure. So blood magic and protection magic and defense magic kind of overlap because anytime I draw a sigil that's for a particular reason and I draw it in blood and I focus my will, that thing will last for a very long time. Sometimes you need to renew sigils. Sometimes you need to actually even make offerings of sigils, but it will last for a long time because that is a piece of yourself that you're giving to, basically creating an entity in a way when you make a sigil. You're giving it your own life. And there's, of course, I do a lot of, I make patterns. I work with the runic spirits and I try to enliven their knowledge within me per rune, in various given days based on what I draw or based on what I try to focus on. And I think that those primordial spirits that overlap to create the fabric of reality benefit me and protect me in the sense that they allow me to accomplish my mission so it's protection of mission as well. They allow me to accomplish my mission without a lot of things trying to stop me. So defense and protection goes very deep. Like you said, at the surface, a lot of people go into magic just wanting that magical protection. A lot of us get to a higher degree of understanding that protection on different levels, understanding that defense on various levels. It goes deeper, but we do all start off with the idea that I really need to protect myself. Let me do this. or I really need to protect my home. I feel like I'm unsafe. Let me put up these sigils or burn this sage, things like that. But yeah, that's definitely something that we all start off with. All right, so I guess what would you like to talk about next, Eldora? Should we go into maybe talismans? Something
Sure.
different various talismans that we create?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so I once again I use blood magic and talisman creation. I also use various minerals. I am very partial to obsidian. It's very grounding, and I find myself being very air oriented, so I need that grounding. And it actually coincides with Uruz, the Elder Futhark rune, for primordial strength and essence. So when making a talisman, I like to use like little bags like this, like little velvet bags, whether they be black, whether they be purple, various sizes. So when you want know what you want to accomplish with a talisman when you set out to create it. So if you're gonna make a talisman to, I don't know, draw money towards you, attract money, allow your efforts to produce the maximum amount of money possible, you might add a certain herb, you might add a certain mineral, and then perhaps you would put this next to a candle and then say your affirmation many times, perhaps once a day while it burns if it's a 7-day candle. You might also want to transfer the energy with a little bit of metal by adding change, because there's actually a lot of energy in the change that travels around because it gathers all this energy. People don't know how to use it. You might want to add that to the little bit of velvet pouch, or even put it next to the candle. That's a very simple form of creating a talisman, but it really does work if you know your herbs, if you know your minerals, and if you know how
like a mojo bag.
Yeah, and how to use your will, how to say an affirmation properly, and how to focus your energy, whether it's through visualization. You're visualizing this energy as you have your mind closed and you're pointing at the talisman. You're imagining this either white light, red light, blue light, whatever, coming either from your cranium, various chakras, your root chakra, coming through you. You're doing a breathing exercise, directing that energy into the talisman, doing a sort of meditation. And then make sure that meditation is constant focused. And then once that talisman is imbued with that energy, then you can break the meditation. Perhaps you want to do that visualization and meditation every day. Perhaps you want to do it once. A lot of these things actually overlap with creating servitors. So a lot of the same things will overlap when bringing a being into existence, because bringing a talisman power for you is like so yeah, that's a little bit about talismans. Would you like to say some yourself?
I used to make stuff like that. I kind of just only empower my amulets now. I have an obsession with necklaces. I have amulets. So I'll do a whole ceremony, like this one is Aramon, and this is one of my latest pieces that I just got, and he is the Persian devil. And inside of it, there's a little dip, so I can actually put my blood right in there. But what I do is, my magic has changed so much. Like, I don't have to do all that fancy dancy stuff like I used to do. I used to do so much stuff. I just have a bowl of salt. I have actually 2 bowls of salt that I clean every week, and I do a lot of my magic just in one corner, and I work with all the spirits in that one corner. I mean, I do have my Hecate altar here because she's one of my patrons, but I have actually a couple of altars. But what I do is I will empower my amulets and bury it in my salt for a night or two, called the spirit, to kind of put herbs on it, I guess same type of thing that you do in a bag, but I have it so it's on me, so I can wear it all the time, or put it in your car or whatever. But I prefer to wear my talismans, I guess. Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely have. So, like, a lot of the jewelry that I have that I wear, I would consider talismans, or I would see markings path reminding me of my path for sure. Yeah, Ahriman, I've actually been meaning to dive into that because I actually bought Curtis Joseph's book, but I haven't read very much of it. I know that it is the opposite of Ahura Mazda in the Zoroastrian religion. It's really the foundation. Zoroastrianism is, according to a lot of people, the foundation for the duality of the good God and bad God kind of thing. But yeah, I would be very much interested in diving into that as far as that particular amulet goes. But yeah, so when it comes to my jewelry, I have I have so many pieces. Depending on what I want to, what I feel like if my energy is for the day, or what I want to attract or manifest, that is what I will wear. So what's interesting about, when I'm wearing Thor's hammer, for instance, Mjolnir. So this one always gives me bad luck in the right way. It is an amulet that will teach me a lesson. It will it will challenge me, because every time I wear it, I know it's not going to be a great day, but I know that I'm going to learn something, because Thor's not about like, he's not about like, oh, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that. He's like, motherfucker, I'm going to teach you. Like, I'm going to teach you with lessons, and they're going to be hard. So I always go through crap when I wear Thor's hammer, but I always think I wear it, every now and then. I'm like, okay, I need to focus on realizing something, or being strong in this way or that way, and then he'll take it a whole new way, and I'll be like, oh, okay. But I like giving various entities the right to teach me.
Hmm.
I don't really want to control everything. That's not my desire. The only way that you learn, the only way that you rebuild yourself is to, I think, like you said, is to be destroyed or destroy yourself, something like that. So I do have amulets like that, and then I have ones that are, that I do little rituals for, to empower, as you said. And some of the amulets that I have, I'll bury in a graveyard for a night, a week, and then I'll dig them back up. Make sure to mark where you bury them, because graveyards are. I've almost
Those
lost.
ghosts are sneaky. They're gonna take it.
And the funny thing is, my goblins are sneakier. Like, they always hide. But like, the cool thing is, it gives me, so my goblins actually give me a heightened sense for what's around this house, what's going on the property, things like that. They're not always like major beings, but I work with a lot of, you could say, minor beings, so they might take offense to that. That help me in this or that way. So I think that valuing you don't always have to go to the most powerful being in a system. Sometimes you want to go step by step, and sometimes the lesser beings are actually the most useful for a lot of circumstances. So
I agree.
I think that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Did we want to move on to, I have all these herbs here, and you were talking about some herbs earlier. So I was just wondering what's some of the magical herbs that you use that you love the most, or like you use for various purposes? Do you have like your favorites?
I do. I do. I So in the summertime, I have my own garden. I like to grow my own herbs in my garden. So my main ones are usually rosemary, sage. I have lemon something that smells like lemon. Um,
Lim- Lemongrass is a great one.
it's lemon. Yes, lemongrass. Lemon balm. Lemon balm. Oh man, that shit smells so amazing, and they grow so much. Pineapple balm. Um, I just grow all of my natural herbs, and then I have my lavender that I grow in the summer, and then I cut it all out, and I put my intentions in that lavender while I'm growing it, and then I have lots of it for the winter, and then when I run out of it, I just go to the store and buy. I'll buy fresh. I really like rosemary, sage. I used to be into sage. Now I'm like, ugh, I don't know. I don't. It's not really for me. I love dragon's blood. Dragon's blood just is. If I could stick with one smell, one herb is dragon's blood. But that's not really a herb. That's resin. But I also use a lot of dry flowers. So I have a lot of. Hold on, I'll show you. So I have a bunch of these in here, which has dry rose petals, which you can use in teas. So, okay, what I do is, here's a trick for everybody. I go to the Chinese market. I don't buy their food, but I buy their, it's really, the Chinese place that I have is I just wouldn't buy their food. But they have like every type of meat in there for offerings. Like when I make an offering to some gods, like they'll have the hearts and blood and all that stuff there. So, but Chinese have their teas. They have so many amazing teas and drinks for healing and stuff like that. So I do take advantage of that. And these are cheap there. So I got like a pound of like rose petals for tea. So I can use them in tea, and I can use them in on my candles for love. I can put them in my salt. I have jasmine in here. I have honeysuckle. Once again, I can use this in a tea. And then or in my salt, and I make black salt with my charcoal. Or usually at the end of the week, my salt is already black, and I'll scoop it up and I'll keep one vial of my salt for that working, because that salt is so powerful, because it has all of my energy and all of my working and my blood and stuff like that. So I have lots of vials of salt. But yeah, so those, I stick to very basic herbs now, like, love, this, that. I don't do too many. I don't do too many spells anymore. Like I don't do too many money spells. I don't really do too much stuff, because I'm at the stage right now where I don't even really focus on that. I'm so focused on my own destruction of myself all the time to get rid of a lot of my traits and character defects. But I work with these spirits to help me evolve spiritually. And I find when I'm centered with that, things just come. Like it's like they know what I want anyways, and things just always come in my way. Like I'm good, but when I'm not good, yes, I will do extra things that I have to do, which doesn't take that much. Yeah. So that's it. I have one last thing to show you before you show me your goodies.
Okay.
And now I'm smoking them. So I do have smokable herbs. You're laughing. But surprisingly, they taste really good. So this one has a bunch of like blue lotus. It has they have properties for lucid dreaming and to help you relax. Yeah. I don't know so much for me, because I have that ability to lucid dream. I have that down packed. I don't have any problems with having vision, but I wanted to give it a try. So this is probably more meant for people who do not remember their dreams, people that do not have they don't lucid dream. You can buy smokable herbs, which is like has lavender, like the blue lotus that has those qualities for stuff. Anyways, it has a bunch of stuff in here, and I got this from Jennifer Valtes. I don't know if you guys probably don't know who she is, but you can just Google smokable herbs. Try to get it from a witch. Don't go to like Wish and get it. go to a resource that you know. But yeah, they taste good. It's good. I'm gonna smoke one right now, maybe. I still
I think I was laughing because you're the first person that I've met that smokes their spiritual herbs, and I was just like, oh, rolling up lavender. Oh, I kept on seeing your posts, like different things you're rolling up, and I'm like, I've never heard of that. It's pretty great though.
Mm-hmm. You can mix it in what a lot of people do is they mix it in their marijuana, in their weed. That's what they do. Like a lot of guys will put some lavender, you put a little bit of that, and then it just enhances your buzz for weed too, and it tastes better. If you smoke weed, I don't know if you smoke weed, but a lot of people that do smoke weed, they can add this into it, save you some weed, half and half, and you get some other properties.
I'd probably smoke it with tobacco, but weed kind of messes with my schizophrenia. But yeah, so I think you covered a lot of a lot of herbs that I actually use, but I would like to say that sweetgrass, it's expensive here. I don't know why it is. And it actually is not as like flammable or hard to burn. It's harder to burn than a lot of other herbs, but it feels like it just completely clears out any energy that you don't want to be there, or just kind of cleans the slate. It's kind of like cleaning a cutting board. You're cleaning the energy that's in your room, around you, in your house, around your property, depending on where you burn it. It feels like it just clears out anything that is opposite to you that you don't want to be there, especially if you're burning it yourself and you're burning it for a purpose, then it'll just clear all that stuff out. I actually have a huge, I got a big thing of herbs. I don't want to talk about them all, but there's a bunch of baggies in here. Oh yeah, and Sherry gave me this box, but I told my vampire. But yeah, so frankincense, I love the resin. Usually I burn this stuff I burn this stuff in stick incense form like every day. It just increases it not only increases my mood, but really increases my vibration. I feel like I'm more alive. It's a little bit like I I guess you could say it's like a spiritual drug, but really it's also it's a heightener of senses without any negative side effect. To be honest,
Yeah.
Hibiscus, I've experienced this a little bit. It feels like a very it feels calming. At the same time, it is something that I would mainly use for talismans. So some of these I actually haven't even tried. I actually got this combination from Miracles of Joy, and I actually have a video that I'm going to put up of I filmed in there. This is lemon verbena. This is for psychic abilities. Like when I test herbs and when I smell them, when I look at them, I try to feel what they're about without me assuming what they're about. Similar to how I deal with people, actually. I try to like understand who they are in their own eyes, what they actually are, before I make judgments on them. But I do the exact same thing with herbs. This one is supposed to be for psychic abilities. This very much feels like it'll enhance psychic abilities quickly, but I don't think they'll be lasting ones because if this herb feels very flammable in more than one way spiritually. So this is one that I've never tried that I'm going to try, marshmallow root. This is supposed to be for luck and other things like that. I've never heard of it until I got it from that shop. And I was like, I gotta try this. I gotta feel what it's about. And this one, it has a very high energy, but it's a very flamboyant energy, if that makes sense. It's more airy, not really grounding kind of energy. So these are juniper berries.
Yeah, I have juniper berries too.
And they're very Nordic. I feel like I grind them up and create circles for spells or for casting or for summoning. That's the vibe I get off of them. Something that would create a good atmosphere. And I'll just share a couple more. Red sandalwood. Red sandalwood is great for blowing upon if you're offering to, for instance, a dead spirit or you're trying to communicate.
Yeah.
Great for blowing onto tombstones. And also great for outlining beves and things like that. It's sandalwood. You just really can't go wrong. It's very versatile, and it's cheap. It's versatile, and you can use it. You can use it in a number of ways, and it's really like a kind of catch-all herb. So one that I don't have great liking for is copal. For some reason my energy just does not go well with it. It feels pungent in the wrong way. It feels like it drags me down. I don't know why, but it just does not vibe with me. Let's see. And the last one that I'll share is black salt. So black salts I use like if I'm having a lot of nightmares and I want to get whatever negative force is trying to mess with me. But I never really have nightmares where I feel like I'm being assaulted. It's more like something is trying to get in that I don't want it to. I might put some black salt on a plate and put it under my bed. Or I might line the window seals or the bottom of doors with this black salt. Once again, my whole practice is very down to earth, very, very much getting nitty and gritty with it. It's not all about reaching the high immediately. It's more about being steadily founded in what you are before you're ready to jump up. And that's very important. Too many people would want to jump up too quick, and they end up not having the ground that they need when they fall back down. So yeah, that's I think those are the herbs that I would like to talk about. So is there something that you wanted to move on next, or should I kind of like move on to the next?
Okay, let's I like sandalwood too. I have a lot of sandalwood too. I did buy that big bag of mugwort. I made the tea, and I could not handle that stuff. That is some strong ass tea, man. And you're telling me to eat it? Like, I'm not eating that.
I eat it.
I
don't waste time. I don't burn. Well, sometimes I burn it, but really, I'm just like, okay, I need this.
I used to eat it. I don't care. Disc, and I didn't really like the smell of it either. So I don't know what I'm going to do with all this.
It is an abrasive herb. Like, white sage, it's pungent, but mugwort, like, it's when you really want to get down and dirty with your spiritual path. Like, you want to get into, like, the nooks and crannies that you have not explored, because that stuff will bring to the surface everything that you have subconsciously put down. And at the beginning, I didn't like it, but after a while, I started experimenting with it more and more. I was like, this stuff is actually, it's bringing up stuff that I needed to address. It's making me see myself. it's making me view myself instead of me just wanting to feel good with other herbs. So I would say it's a very aggressive herb. It's very aggressive. I would use it only in serious situations, not in light and happy situations. And it's very aggressive for sure.
Like situations where you need to find the answers quickly.
Yes, and you're willing to get punched in the face to do it. That's the kind of situations I use mugwort for. I don't eat it as much as I used to, and I don't burn it as much as I used to. But when I do feel myself dragged down into my subconscious, and things are kicked up. But you have to be attuned with it. It doesn't happen on the first try. You have to get used to it. But yeah, every herb has a grandmother, or grandfather spirit, or grandmother and grandfather spirit, and you can communicate with those plant spirits just the same as you can with other spirits. And all these herbs' personality traits are the personality traits that are amplified in their grandmother or grandfather spirits that hold sway over them. So if you recognize herbs as spirits and not just substances, that's when you actually get results.
Yeah, and I think people forget you should call the spirit back into the plant too. You know what I mean? Like when I do it, I try to hold it in my hand and I'll call that spirit back into and reactivate it and put life back into it, because it's almost like they're kind of dead. You know, like they're gone. The spirit's gone. You have to like call it back into the plant. So I tried that and I got a better effect. But for sure. I agree. They are spirits, and yeah, you work with them at like spirits, and you're definitely going to get a better effect than just not thinking of them as that.
All right, everyone. I guess we should move on to curses at this point. It seems like that's a good place to. We can, of course. I actually don't have a lot of experience with curses. I've done a few in my life. I've never really felt the need to, because I feel like anybody that I want to curse, they end up kind of cursing themselves. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I will say that I'm just like, I don't care, man. Like, it's like, so earlier in my life, I used to be the kind of person who's like, oh, somebody did this to me. Screw them. I mean, if you want to fight me, fine, whatever. If you want to keep on causing trouble with me, I'll deal with you. But I don't even need to go to Magick, bro. I mean, I can I can throw hands. But but to be honest, like even if somebody keeps on messing with me, I don't want to sound messed up, but I've reached a level of maturity where it's just like I got other things to focus on. Like I don't have time for this. I don't care. I've mellowed out a lot more in my late 20s, and I'm 29. In my early 20s, I was like, how can I curse all these people that wrong me, these sons of, and then later on, I was just like, God, like, it's almost like they're a part of my life. Why do I even think about them? Screw them. Like, ugh.
Why put the energy into
I
them?
have an opposite viewpoint, but I would love to hear you about curses, because I don't do curses. Like, everything just kind of resolves itself. So, I mean,
I do not, and I would not I don't get paid for baneful magic. The only way I will, if somebody that's close to me and somebody is being harmed by another person and they won't stop, that's when I will intervene. I have performed 3 or 4 curses on people because they were hurting me, and the situation was it was survival in a way, and I know from my curses that they are extremely potent. Okay, I mean, these people got hit really fucking hard, so I'm not about to throw a curse on people who call me names or something that's so dumb. I would never. I'm just not an evil, wicked bitch like that. I don't go out there. I don't have joy on making people's life a miserable life. I'd rather see that person evolve. And it's funny because people have come after me because I do have a good heart, and they know it deep down. They fucking know it, and they test me. So I can feel pressure, and my spirits will warn me. So it's either I can send it back, I can protect myself, it's up to me of how I want to handle it. And I usually let it play off to see what they're doing, and how far they're going with the curse, because I'll know. My spirits will tell me what exactly they're doing, and then I can make a decision upon that. Because like I said, my curses aren't I'm a healer. I can heal. I can actually project and heal somebody. I'd rather heal people than fucking fuck their lives up. But if these people are raping people and they're child molesters, if they're coming after me, if they're coming after the people that I love, yes, I'll do it. And I'm not talking about just stupid little things like, oh, this person said this and this person. People, I've had scenarios in communities where one person has a problem with one person. They expect everybody to get gang up on one person. It's like, you fucking pussies. You're a fucking pussy. Do shit your own self. Like, do shit your own self. Why are you asking people to do shit? It just shows you what kind of people they are. When you have to ask other people to help you curse people, I think that's weak ass mentality shit. I do everything. Nobody knows anything what I do if I have to do it. I would prefer not to do it because I really don't want to hurt somebody for something that's not justified. It has to be really, really, really justified. But the people that have cursed me and they felt what it's like to come after me because I don't have to do much. I have my spirits to protect me. They come back and apologize. Every fucking person who's ever tried to curse me will come back and apologize. And you know what? I'll be like, I'll accept it, but it's not an accepting of let's be friends again. It's an accepting to show them what love is, because I represent love. And I want you to heal as a spirit and a person, because I can guarantee you, if I went back to that person and said sorry, they would be like, no. So I try to break that chain of hate. You don't need to hate people for stupid things, especially in our magical community. People want to, whose dick's bigger, it's not, you know what? No. So yeah, I'll never get paid for curses. Nobody can ask me to, I think you should learn how to do that shit yourself. If you want to do it, you shouldn't be dragging people in your business. And most likely, these people, if you ever saw them face to face, wouldn't even fight you. They're probably just these little cowards in their fucking goddamn basement.
Yeah. I like all of that. So do you want to explain how to do a basic curse? Because I feel like we might go into that, but we don't have to. But
yeah,
okay,
a simple curse. Okay, anybody can curse. You don't have to be magical. Your words are spells. You can go up to someone and say, "Fuck you. I wish you're fucking dead." Curse. Boom. Gone. That person can die. That person can die. If you really want to get nitty gritty and you really hate this person, is abusive, and they're hurting you, you get a piece of their hair. You get, if you're living with them, if boyfriend, you get an article. You can, you just think of the most grotesque things to put in a jar. Let's do a curse jar. You put nails, razor blades, spit, piss, whatever the hell you want to put. You put so much hate. You have to channel hate. You really do. You have to go so far in to bring up a hate, the hate, and you got to put that shit in the jar. And then you can ask a demon that can assist you, that would do that, Pazuzu is great for curses. He is a Sumerian god that will bring disease and destruction, but he also will curse a motherfucker for you and drive that person insane. You can act, and then you can actually fuck with them too. If you're good at actually fucking with them and getting them in their subconscious, you can send demons over to haunt them. I have done stuff like that. You can ask, you can get spirits to go over there and call the dead. You can do crazy stuff if you really want to haunt people's minds. It's really getting in their minds and breaking down that barrier so that you fuck with them mentally. And they think, and as soon as they think that they're cursed, boom, the curse is there. And they're always going to be paranoid, and bad luck's going to happen to them, and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, you just get jars, you put shit in there, you put their name, you can put hot peppers, you can put just everything that's nasty, and then you can go bury it somewhere or throw it somewhere. That's the simplest curse.
that makes sense. Okay, so do we want to wrap up with any basic ideas, or have we covered the whole spectrum of what we thought we were going to cover in this video?
I think we covered everything. I think this was good.
All right.
Unless you wanted to say something.
I'll just say something to everybody watching. Everybody watching, thank you very much. We really appreciate y'all viewing this content. there's a lot of content on YouTube that is not spiritual or does not talk about metaphysics at all, and that gets all the views. So if you're watching this right now, then you're probably more metaphysical than a lot of people on YouTube. Also, it's okay to give criticism. If you have any criticism of me, you can, or I imagine Eldoria, feel free to, give us feedback. But if you want to give us good feedback, please do so as well. We want to communicate with people. We want to reach out to people. We want to make connections. So don't feel afraid to open up a connection with us. And, we hope that you watch both of our channels, mine at Hunter Salazar and yours at
The Crow Cove with Eldoria Crow.
There we go.
You can just type in Eldoria Crow. There's only one Eldoria Crow, so you'll find me.
Yeah, there's only one. And
there's only one.
Apparently, there's only one Hunter Salazar, because when I type that in, it's just me.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Actually, there's one lady, her name is Eldoria Crow, and she died in the 1800s. In the 1800s, yeah.
Did you kill her?
I don't know. Maybe I'm a reincarnation. I don't know.
Maybe.
I have no fucking clue. I tried to find a picture of what she looked like, but I couldn't. Just the graveyard. Just the gravestone.
Yeah, so we really dived in a little bit to a lot of different things. So, in future videos, maybe if y'all want us to focus on one thing, let us know. At any rate, thank all of y'all for watching, and you can say goodbye, Eldoria.
Much love to everyone, and stay focused and stay on your path, and don't let people put you down. Just do what you got to do, what's right for yourself. And I know, especially in this time of the pandemic, a lot of people are going crazy. Just use your time smartly. Use this time to grow and to spend with family and develop healthy relationships. That's what we're really here for, is to learn relationships with human beings. That's our major thing, is to have good relationships. And so that's it.
Yeah, that sounds great. I back that 100%. At any rate, all of y'all, stay safe and have a wonderful day.